México le ganó 69-66 al elenco de Puerto Rico. Hoy enfrentando a Brasil, el segundo turno Colombia ante Puerto Rico. Mañana jugarán el primer turno Brasil ante conjunto boricua y cerrarán el grupo A México ante Colombia. Esta mañana también arranca el grupo B en Bahía Blanca, Islas Vírgenes enfrentando a Canadá y la selección argentina jugando contra Venezuela.
Sí, señor, para inaugurar esa zona, allí en el país argentino. Vemos acá la terna arbitral, comandado por el uruguayo Cruz, acompañado por Andrés Bartel y Carlos Peralta de Ecuador. Serán encargados de velar por la justicia que cumplan todas las leyes en ese debería estar julio, que allí fue sumamente importante y un momento clave en el partido de Brasil ante Colombia.
Terminó ayer con 14 puntos. También totalizó 3 rebotes y 6 asistencias en casi 30 minutos de juego.
Y su experiencia fue clave en la línea de tiro libre, que fue un factor determinante para la victoria de Brasil. A propósito de victorias, evidentemente a raíz de que estamos en el duelo de los dos equipos que ayer consiguieron la victoria, el que venza hoy quedará bien parado para la definición del Final Four.
Hablamos acá. Vamos a primero a repasar el quinteto de Brasil.
Chabosto, que fue el partido ayer, Julio, Rafael Mineiro, Pablo Batista, Leonardo Meindl, que ayer fue de él el más jugador del partido para el equipo brasileño con 19 puntos. Y ahí tenemos a Álex Pérez, la gran figura ayer de México, sin titular. Pérez, a ver, ahora el Gutiérrez y nos encontramos con Álex Pérez.
Bueno, hoy uno de los que está en la columna del DD, Jorge Gutiérrez, también un poquito más necesita México de Lorenzo Mata. En el juego interno, ayer Héctor Hernández tuvo momentos, buenos pasajes del partido. Israel Gutiérrez ayer se puso de overol y trabajó muy bien, pero así sale. Estos son los 5 que pone en cancha Sergio Valdemiro.
Irving Ábalos, el número 5, Jorge Gutiérrez, que tratará hoy de mostrar una buena tarea con 5 puntos. También está ayer el equipo mexicano, Héctor Hernández y Lorenzo Mata, el pivot del equipo mexicano que buscará la victoria, comandado por Valdo Rios.
Ambos equipos repiten formación del quinteto ideal, al igual que ayer, precisamente desde el banco de suplentes. Ayer Álex Pérez terminó con 24 puntos con 3 asistencias en el duelo ante Puerto Rico, y él y Girón fueron los dos que salieron desde el banco para cambiarle la cara a este conjunto de México.
Números de Álex Pérez, y ayer lo veían 24 puntos, muy efectivo de la línea de 3, 4 y 6 en esse sector para el base del equipo
Lembra
mexicano.
daqueles detalhes que eu falei hoje? Eles ajudam muito quando corta, come da lateral. Então uma batida e passe. Uma batida e passe. Tá? Às vezes não vai dar para ir muito lá dentro, porque eles fecham muito. É bater e passar para fora.
Salta Lorenzo. Salta Lorenzo, aquí está Héctor, aquí está Paco, aquí está Irwin y aquí está Jorge. Irwin en campo defensivo, y Jorge, y Héctor y Paco aquí. O Lorenzo, o lo das adelante a Héctor o a Irwin, correcto, si lo das a Irwin para Paco. Vale, y si no jugamos. La primera es, jugamos 0-4, 0-4, correcto. Vale, con ritmo y con buenos bloqueos. Con ritmo y con buenos bloqueos.
Vamos 5. Jogar em cima de 5 deles que é lento. Tá, vamos lá. Bora. 1, 2, 3, Brasil.
Las últimas arengas, tanto de Brasil como de Portugal como de México, se viene un duelo importante para asomar la ritmo al Final Four de Córdoba. De a poquito va llegando gente. Colombia juega el segundo turno ante el seleccionado de Puerto Rico. Y recordamos, la mala, que no va a estar Stalin Ortiz. Ciro a la trocha, que ayer también salió con un problema en el tobillo, está a disposición, pero lo de Stalin todavía sin resolución. Respecto a su lesión, se sabe que es un tema muscular de su muslo, pero todavía sin parte médica, podría decir.
Exactamente, de hecho nuestro amigo Ricardo Cruz, que cerca de la selección europea, informó que a lo largo de esta tarde de hoy estaré haciendo la conferencia para saber el alcance de la ley que viene.
Un poco demorado el tema, ¿no? Porque quizá hoy a la mañana que se podría haber hecho.
O ayer mismo en la noche,
claro.
se estaban apurados, estamos hablando de un punto importante para Colombia.
Bueno, se viene Fulvio, se viene Joao Paulo Batista, otro de los que ayer estuvo bien, pero no a su nivel. Hoy quiero un poquito más de Bruno Caboclo. obviamente, como bien decía Pedro, de Jorge Gutiérrez, de Lorenzo Mata, y con eso se armará un lindo partido para abrir la segunda jornada de este Grupo A en Medellín, en este hermoso estadio Iván de Bedún.
Qué linda la camiseta de Brasil.
Linda, hoy parece que se juega el premio. Ahora la pasó del otro lado. Buen rebote de Batista. Mineiro, Fulvio. Así es el apellido de Fulvio. Lo termina perdiendo. Ayer arrancó también frío Fulvio. Después calentó y incendió los motores. No hay conexión con Ábalos. Por eso la termina perdiendo México.
Segunda pérdida para Gutiérrez.
Fulvio que prueba para los tres. Casi punto en el aro. Sale. Y ahora sale jugando México con Paco Cruz. Francisco jugará el Fuenlabrada, que dirigirá el Che García por primera vez en el básquetbol europeo, el entrenador argentino de la Vinotinto. Cruz. Tiro volado, la pelota que bordea hacia esto. Batista en el rebote, salida con Fulvio. ¿Cómo lo vio? ¿Cómo lo vio? ¿Me explica usted, Pedro Rosso, cómo hizo para verlo a Fulvio correr por el carril derecho a Meindl, que convierte el doble? Primera asistencia para el gran Fulvio.
Ayer nos demuestra una visión panorámica importante. Fulvio ya repartió su primera asistencia para los primeros puntos máximos del partido de ayer. 19 puntos Meindl.
Ahí devolvió gentileza a su Francisco Cruz. De hecho, la asistencia de ayer, muy parecida a la de hoy, pero terminada por Jimmy en el día de ayer, estuvo entre las 5 mejores jugadas en el juego. De Fulvio, doble cocina de...
That was on your seat last night again. That or the Oregon Ducks. Yeah. Batista's lay-in goes with the right hand. Says, I'll come right back at you too with a layup. Tied up at 4. 7.5 minutes of play. First of 2 games tonight. Second of 3 days of play in Group A.
This is a good matchup between Cruz and Meindl, because Cruz last night wanted to post up the Puerto Rican guards because he had a decisive advantage. He won't have that tonight.
Nice pass inside, and Avalos with the finish.
And you know what kind of a pass that was, Craig?
The bounce pass. Bounce pass along the baseline.
Very effective.
Just joining us, didn't follow our commentary in the Women's AmeriCup tournament in Buenos Aires a couple weeks ago. Coach Mark Anderson has a particular affinity for the bounce pass as we get another look at that gorgeous lead pass up ahead to Meindl.
It's the most underutilized pass in basketball right now, especially into the post.
launches the three. Boy, he got a good look at that. Goes out of bounds off of Batista.
He sure did. Sluggish with the shot. The rims are tight. You know, coming off of last night, both those games, it might have a little bit of an effect.
Meindl hits from three. And he gives Brazil a 1-point lead, 7-6. Meindl's got 5. Brazil 7 points. Gutierrez about to step back. Now the 3 on the way from Hector Hernandez misses everything. And another rebound for Batista. It won't get any easier than that. Meindl had to adjust in midair. Jordan's surface move. Could not complete see it. Cruz at the other end with the left-hand lay-in.
Nice finish with the left hand.
And it's Mexico back on top by 1-8-7. Just the second foul of the game. Look at the three-pointer by Meindl.
That's the spot he hit the couple from last night.
Yes, he did. Splash that one. Nice back door. Oh, man. You can't lay that pass. If he walked up and handed that ball to him, he couldn't have put it in any better of a spot.
Right on his hands. He didn't have to move at all.
That foul on Francisco Cruz. The foul before that was on Navalos, Mexico. Second team foul. Final to the line. Friendly ring got that one in.
Sure did. They were extremely loose the night before this tournament started.
Final books them both. Brazil back up by 1.
Well, we noted yesterday how he scored in spurts. He's doing it right now in the first quarter.
Weaving his way into the lane and kicking it back out. Now back inside to Mata. Just a little too tall for the big man. That was his first touch.
Notice Mexico is trying to get inside that first wave of defense, so they were paying attention to what Colombia was doing and how they were scoring last night.
Colombia had a decided advantage on the paint last night, which was a bit surprising. Julio found it. Now getting it to Paco. Paco found himself in a tough spot. Now here comes Avalos, missing the dunk as Meindl defended from behind. Now Gutierrez, as Mexico gets it back. Get back. Julio around the screen. Oh, nice give underneath and beautiful lay-in by Batista. And that was a nice job by Batista. He didn't think for a second that Fulvio was going to shoot that ball. He kept rolling.
And that's where them playing together for years comes in handy. They know each other.
Look at this. Blocked by Meindl.
Nice.
Just got a piece of it as he went up to the rim. There's the lane by Batista on the other end. 1-point lead for Brazil. 11-8, 4:20 to play first quarter. Strong move there by Mineiro. And he'll go to the line.
Brazil's using a lot more curl cuts off the top, off the horn set. They're getting some easy looks inside. Where last night they were using mostly middle third, getting Fulvio the screen from Batista and going from there.
Mata came out for Mexico. It looks like he's getting a little bit of attention from the medical staff now. Looks like he's okay. And for Mata is Israel Gutierrez, youngster at 24 years old. Played some very good minutes last night for Mexico down the stretch.
He did. And it was his defensive presence, getting some rebounds. And what I like about him and Benitez when he comes in, they set some of the most solid screens.
Gutierrez missed the tip, but then Avalos followed. Mexico back on 3 at 13-10. Now another feed underneath for an open Brazilian. That was Mineiro again.
It was off Gutierrez. He went too far out to string out Fulvio on that. When he's that far out, you don't have to go that far out defensively. He had to recover, and they didn't talk on the rotation, thus the easy layup.
Mineiro had a bit of trouble getting started last night, but ended up having a fun night. Now he's already got himself 4 points. It's a crafty finish by Mineiro. He went to the reverse because he saw Gutierrez coming. If he went up on the regular side and tried to dunk it, Gutierrez would block it.
Big body.
Gutierrez working his way in. Wow, what a pretty move by Gutierrez. He went up over Mariano Lucas.
That's going to be a matchup to watch in there.
Great ball movement by Brazil. Three-pointer on the way from Caboclo, and that's good.
And that's his spot for the 3. That's where he buried 2 last night. The pocket corner, as I like to call it.
Giron seeing his first action of the night. He played a very good game last night, particularly defensively. Now Gutierrez answers for 3. To Meindl for 3.
Nice communication underneath between Cruz, Gutierrez.
Gutierrez bangs that one in. I love the reaction by Caboclo. He's like, come on, man. We had that defended.
I was just getting ready to say, when are we going to see Pérez? Well, he's checking in now for Mexico.
Intercepted by Jorge Gutierrez. He slowed up to try to get the foul to Paula. That was kind of strange.
He had a straight line to the basket too, which was interesting.
So now Mexico back on top, 19-18. Wiping away the 5-point Brazil lead. Minute 30 to play in this first quarter. Paulo tried to feed it to the big man. Just couldn't handle it.
That's where a bounce pass would have been more efficient.
Now the 3 from the corner for Hector Hernandez, and he drains it. Now it's Mexico by 4, 22-18.
And he's just got to forget about last night going 1 for 9. Right now he's 1 for 2 now.
Biggest lead of the game for Mexico. Now Lucas spinning. Couldn't get it to go over Hernandez, and here comes Mexico. Giron thought about the 3, gets it back. Now an offensive foul.
Cruz is a little gassed right now.
There's the catch and shoot 3 by Gutierrez.
Yeah, it's a good substitution. He was gassed.
Álex Pérez comes on along with Idris Dawood. That is going to be on Gutierrez. Now is on Giron, his first. And going to the line is Lucas Diaz. First free throw rings out with 30.2 to play in this first quarter. And a back and forth first quarter.
It's not unusual. Mexico has 4 subs in right now, so they will get a lot of action on it. Actually, it's all 5 now. They will play their subs a lot.
And Benitez came in. He played some very good minutes last night as well.
Well, again, I talked about that last night. Things that don't show up on the scorecard. He set solid screens, and he had 2 huge offensive rebounds in the 4th quarter.
8 left on the clock. Shot clock is off. Here comes Oliveira. Now the pass stolen away by Giron. That's his first steal on the night, and then Mexico throws it away. Brazil cannot get the shot off. Despite the fact that right on Lenz's baseball throw from 3/4 court went off the backboard, it would not have counted. And Mexico takes a 22-19 lead at the end of 1.
Llegando al pico en el 4.
Both teams off to a good start shooting. 50% for Mexico, 62 for Brazil.
Now the scoreboards just went blank. I think they were just rebooting them. So we may be under a short delay here as the scoreboard comes back up. There it is.
Both teams are a little bit ahead of their pace, Craig, from last night coming to turnovers. Mexico with 6, Brazil with 5. Mexico really took care of the ball last night, as I stated, only 10 turnovers. They went the entire 2nd quarter without one, so let's see if they take care of the ball a little bit better.
5 steals already for Mexico in that 1st quarter.
And those were those cross-court passes where they didn't even have to move.
Yep.
They were just standing there.
Brazil will open possession for the 2nd quarter. With possession, I should say. Paula. Gets to the corner. Now out to Pérez. Rivera's
pushing it back.
Yeah. Jimmy Oliveira to inbound. Getting out to Mariano Lucas. Another 3 attempts, no good. Lucas Diaz, the rebound. And then he was fouled. The foul was on Idris Dawood. That's his 2nd. So Dawood has 2. Manavalos has 2 from Mexico. Francisco Cruz also with 2 fouls already from Mexico. Just 26 seconds into the 2nd quarter. Tap back, taken by Pérez. Sounded by Oliveira.
Let's see if the 2nd unit for both teams, what they can do here.
Benitez moving his way down. He just backed the defender down and then made a nice pass.
Yep, he recognized that 3 Brazilian defenders collapsed on him. He found the open man. An easy basket.
Probably could have gone in for the easy reverse himself, but unselfish play. Coming on for 3, and that's good. And Lenz scores.
they get a lead, there's going to be a run by the other team. It's going to happen.
Cruz puts up a floater, no good. Rebound Lenz. Gino for three. That's good.
Looking lefty.
Brazil back on top by one. Team shooting pretty well from beyond the arc thus far. Now Benitez from the baseline, his left-hand jumper rattles out. Here comes Brazil looking for the breathing room. Lucas driving on Gutierrez. He draws the foul. Last night land on, I believe it was Tony Troca's ankle.
Yes.
Saw the official get out of the way when he saw Lucas go down there.
Right. It's a lot of ball player coming at you.
So Lucas to the free throw line.
Last night, 21 minutes of play. He was in crunch time last night.
Oh, by the way, it was on Israel Gutierrez. Rebound tapped out of bounds and stayed with Brazil. Lucas misses both free throws, but fortunately for Brazil, they get it back.
Again, we talked about that last night with the free throw. Got to hit him because it's going to come into play at some point late in this game.
10 to shoot. Gino. And gets it across to Oliveira. Now back down to Lucas. 1 to shoot. Gets it off. Skyhook. No good. That was a genuine skyhook there.
It was. Old school. You don't see too much of that anymore. We saw that last night, Craig. They switched balls several times because it was so slippery with the humidity.
Do that now. $7:20 to play, second quarter. A seesaw battle if you're just joining us. Biggest lead in the game by either team was 6. Hernandez for 3. You're mailed that one. Both teams actually had a 6-point lead in this one. Mexico's biggest lead was 5.
Oh, shot clock. We got 21 down here and 9 over here.
Asynchronous.
Right, good, thanks.
Master's degree in English gives you.
There you go.
Words like asynchronous. The sky hook there, yeah.
Good footwork, though. Lucas.
Driving into the corner, kicking it out to the other. Nice ball movement on the outside by Mexico. 3 by Hernandez is no good. And here comes Brazil.
He's just got to forget about it. Now it's starting to bother him. Every shot I've been watching him take now, his reaction when it's not going in. You can't let it bother you.
Lucas has the ball popped out of his hand, and we call that out Mata. Mata incredulous. by Jorginho de Paula is good.
Perez is only taking one shot. But what I've noticed, Mexico is staying with the dribble drive, and then they're kicking. They're drawing and kicking.
Left side now. Gutierrez around the screen by Mata. And they're going to get way hot for trying to fight through that screen.
Mexico guards, I would love playing with these bigs from Mexico. They set some tremendous screens.
Yeah, Benitez, Israel Gutierrez, and Lorenzo Mata.
You know you're going to get open if you come off of one of their screens or if you have a dribble drive off of it.
Right by Hernandez misses, but he gets his own rebound. Gutierrez with the left hand line off the glass, no. Rebound Mariano Lucas. And another issue with the shot clock. It did not start that possession. Should be at about 17-ish.
I would agree. Right in there.
I only knew that because that's what our graphic says on the TV.
I didn't look. Thanks.
Gotta know all the broadcaster tricks.
There you go.
Marcelo Galecchio running the graphics and all the stats. Absolute wizard over there. So they're going to give it to Brazil actually with 14.
14.
If they can't determine it.
They still don't have them synced up. We didn't have any of this last night.
No, we did not.
Well, if I'm the coaches, I pull the teams over right now and talk to them.
And Brazil, they're doing that on the floor right now as...
Yeah, use this as an extra timeout.
Yeah.
Get your team over to the bench, stay on the court. Can't come off the court, but stay on the court and talk to them. Talk about the next two plays you want to run on offense.
So now one shot clock reads 4, the other at 24.
We compromise at 20?
I don't think that's how it works.
No.
Well, if you take the average, it's 14.
Which is what they had. That's why I taught history instead of math.
And now an official's timeout. And both teams sent to their respective benches as they get the shot clock squared away. 5:50 to play in the second quarter. One clock above one basket says 5:58. The other three read 5:50, as does our graphic. And so there's all sorts of discombobulation going on with...
No podemos descansar aquí. Es presionar a los hombres grandes aquí por si postean en todas esas situaciones que colapsan las inversiones de balón. Seguir estando sólidos, que no está mal. Y ahí estamos algo frustrados porque estamos tirando solo y no metemos. Seguimos. Estamos 3 abajo, tío. Quedan 20 minutos, quedan una vida. Pero seguir. Vamos a jugar un extra pass. En los dos lados del campo.
1, 2, 3.
Así no hay problema.
Coaches are going to use it all the way to the end. Bench scoring Brazil 9-4.
That was a huge advantage last night for Mexico.
Exactly. Well, 6 of those 9 are 3-point shots.
All right, we're all back underway here.
That math I got right.
Gremlins have been chased out of the system, and we are back underway. Paula, long cross-court pass, and now the catch and shoot three, no good by Diaz. And off inside to Mata, he goes off the square and in. Let's go back within 127-26. kind of glitches in these international level FIBA tournaments as the ball ends up in the lap of UC Richards, FIBA America's presidents. Get the feed to Mata, right off your forehead and in. The technical staff in these arenas and the work they do, the organizing committee along with FIBA, just do a tremendous job putting these tournaments on. You rarely have any major issues. Rarely even have any minor issues. And now a charge call on Danilo Siqueira. Sure we'll get enough look at that.
Good pressure here by Brazil. Block.
Reza Hernandez inside to Mata. Mata the nice fake, but
He was almost too far under.
yeah, he was. Brazil can't take advantage though at the other end, and it'll be Mexico ball once more.
It's 8 turnovers for Brazil. Mexico has 6.
Gutierrez into the front court, all the way into the lane, now kicking it out to Giron. Half minutes to play in the half. They had Mata open for a second, but the passing lane was there. Hernandez to Mata. Mata lays it in and draws the foul.
They're doing a tremendous job of spreading the floor, attacking the gaps, then hitting the cutters or kicking it out to the wing for the open shot.
Really, both teams are.
Yeah, Brazil's doing more of throwing over the top of the defenders rather than attacking. But yes, they both are looking for that opposite wing shot.
Great hands by Mata to catch that pass. Getting close.
Well, he took a couple shots last night from the forehead. We were talking about his headband absorbing that initial one at the beginning of the game.
Side. Comes Meindl to Lens. Three-pointer. Mata had the rebound and it went out for Meindl. That's going to be a foul. Batista.
I thought that was a good call. Suddenly the whistle blew. I'm sure that
I didn't see what Batista was doing. I saw he was watching the ball.
right here over Mata.
Oh, yeah. He was watching it go off Meindl. So now both teams over the limit, and Mata will go to the free throw line to try to extend this 1-point Mexico lead. Mata misses again.
Both teams are struggling from the free throw line.
That's that one. Fulvio now. Little bump from Pérez.
Did you notice that little shoulder fake he did right before
Yeah.
he took off?
Yep.
That's what I mean about him being crafty in there. Veteran move.
Yeah, that allowed him to gain a step on Pérez, and Pérez bumped him.
If all it does is make the defender stand up just for that split second,
Yep, and you can accelerate.
and he accelerated right by him.
What they say in Top Gun? Hit the brakes and fly right by.
Not old enough to remember that movie, Craig.
Wish. I think you took your kids to see it. Perez into the front court. Pressure from Meindl. Perez has been bottled up today. 4 points and 2 fouls. Now Perez driving. His floater. And he comes out of there looking for the foul. And I was wondering the same thing. Like, he got raked across the floor on his way.
It's only his second shot attempt, but the defense isn't giving him any looks either. That's the difference tonight.
Pass by Fulvio off the foot of Hernandez.
Technical Official was indicating that he just kept talking about something over there. But again, we've seen a couple technicals where the coaches weren't very talkative, is how they were demonstrative.
Right. Cruz misses with the left-hand layup. And now Gutiérrez committing the foul. Mexico City, so we got to look there at Sergio Valdemuñoz. He looks like he could be a TV star in Mexico, a broadcaster or something, a TV news personality. Just a distinguished, authoritative.
It's the hair.
Salt and pepper hair.
Is that good hair? Yeah.
Anderson advocating for his full salt and pepper hair, gentlemen.
There you go.
1:30 inside 3 minutes to play in the second quarter. Don't forget, coming up, we've got one more game tonight. Colombia and Puerto Rico. Start at 8 o'clock. Jerome finds Mata all by himself under the bucket. He goes up and jams it home with 2 hands.
Lack of communication on Brazil to rotate. Got to talk.
Just their first. 2:31 to play, second quarter. Mexico on top by 3. This is the 2017 FIBA AmeriCup Championship Tournament live from Medellin.
Espera ele jogar pick and roll no Lucão para você pegar um deles para subir para chutar. Aí você vai ter os 5 rolando, um chutador subindo, tá? Na chifrelada, entendeu?
Aquí, y si no, atacando vosotros en verticalidad, ¿de acuerdo? Buscamos interior, buscamos triangulación sobre Viris o buscamos verticalidad. Pero todos los ataques quiero pick contra Mariano. ¿Queda claro? En defensa estamos bien, vamos a seguir como estamos. Vale, vamos.
1, 2, 3.
Just a tick over 2:30 to play in the second quarter. So we've got to look at the dunk there by the big man Lorenzo Mata. Mata with 7 points and a pair of rebounds.
Meindl was slow on the rotation there.
Jorge Gutiérrez leads Mexico with 9 points. Not sure what the play was there. I think they're looking at the clock again, but they're all in sync. Leading scorer for Brazil is Meindl with 7. Batista has 4 and 6 rebounds. And that's his third. Boy, we had a nice crisp first quarter, and all of a sudden, the second quarter has slowed way down. Jerome getting it to Hernandez. Jerome took a shot before the head. Gather himself. Gutierrez kick it out to Avalos. Thought about the 3. Back out to Gutierrez. That's good. Gutierrez now with 12. Up inside to Diaz. Mexico pries it out of him. And again, block issues. Minute 50 left. The clock above the scoreboard, rather above the basket. Right reads 19 seconds. The other three read minute 50. Look at the three-pointer there from Gutierrez. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
Mexico 3 for 7 from behind the arc, 42%, 42.86 to be exact. Brazil is 4 of 11 for 36, which still isn't a bad percentage. Concern there for Brazil, they're 9 of 18 already from the free throw line. For Brazil, they've missed 9. For Mexico, they've already allowed them to go to the line 18 times.
Group C gets underway Monday. Group C consisting of Dominican Republic, USA, Panama, and Uruguay. Group B gets underway, I believe, Tuesday. It's Virgin Islands, Argentina, Venezuela, and Canada. That is going to be a tough group. Do not discount Virgin Islands as Mata goes up for the jam, but gets fouled. Oh, he was loading up for that one, too.
Well, he sure was. He cocked that back, didn't he? Beautiful bounce pass to him also. I bet if you had the camera and could see his eyes, they lit up. Right there.
Foul on Mariano Lucas. Just the first foul on Lucas.
Good foul too. Didn't allow him to finish it. Didn't allow him to get that dunk off.
Especially the way Mata's been shooting free throws.
Right.
So Mexico now by 6. Mata cannot make it 7. But this is the biggest lead of the game for Mexico. Brazil led by 6 in the first quarter.
Nice block.
Yeah. Mexico running. Pass from Dawood. Off the mark. Rubio getting things settled back down. Getting it into Lucas. Mata back out to Fulvio for 3. No good. He tracks down the rebound. 1 minute to play. Lucas goes up for the dunk and loses it.
See if we can get a replay on that one.
I'm not sure if anybody got a piece of that.
Right. There's this log.
By Mata. Nice. With the left hand, too. A lot of guys can only block with one hand. Nice outside jumper by Idris Dawood. And with 40.4 seconds to play, takes timeout, trailing now by 6 again. Pardon, 8, that's what I thought they were. Still getting those points up on it. Yeah, he just missed.
No one touched him.
Yeah, he was a little bit too far away to dunk it. I think he was just going to try to throw it into the rim. There's the baseline jumper by Idris Dawood.
Rápido. Aí todo mundo dando apoio aqui, você sai de peito, bola volta na sua mão, você traz aqui pro meio, jogada rápida, os 5 pra gente bloquear aqui, o Mineiro roda aqui. Os 2 alas prontos, certo? Beleza? Tá? A próxima defesa aqui, tá? A próxima defesa aqui. Nós vamos fazer a 1 bem feita, tá? Teve um pique aqui, Fulvio. O cara bateu, você tava aqui. Dá o banco aqui.
Y un tiro, por favor, los 5 al rebote, porque vamos a tener desventaja. Vale, a partir de ahí quiero jugar a correr y a meter una bandeja o a jugar un pick and roll de Jorge contra Mariano. De acuerdo, un pulgar arriba. ¿Queda claro? Vale, oye, 40 segundos sin errores, tío. 40 segundos. Es muy importante el reloj. Vamos.
Paco has won South American championships last year. Argentina, a semifinalist in Mexico City. Canada, a semifinalist in Mexico City. And Virgin Islands, they are a very good team, very underrated.
That's going to be a heck of a group.
We got to see them last year in Central Basket. And they've got some talent.
Nice execution right there. Nice bounce pass by Lucas.
Mineiro did a nice job keeping his balance too, gathering himself before going back up. About 3 seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Shot clock now at 10. Goes Gutierrez around Mata. 6 to shoot. Down to the corner for Hernandez for 3. Short. Put back is up and in. Nice play by Giron. Oh, and a great job by Gutierrez to poke that out of there, not allowing Meindl to get a final shot off. And so Mexico takes an 8-point lead into the locker room at halftime, 41-33. This is the 2017 FIBA AmeriCup Championship Tournament live from Coliseo Iván de Bedú in Medellín, Colombia. Mexico able to open up a little breathing room in that second quarter, taking an 8-point lead. You see Brazil's shooting numbers just 35% from two-point range.
You know, that's the difference from last night. They were up around 50%. I'm not shocked at the lead, but I'm kind of surprised. And a lot of it has to do with the Brazil shooting right now. And from the foul line.
Neither team very well from the
9
foul
of 18.
line. Mexico just 57% from the foul line. Despite having an 8-point lead, I don't think we can pencil this one in yet for Mexico.
Absolutely not. Both teams took care of the ball in the second quarter, too. 8 and 7, 8 turnovers for Brazil. They only had 2 in that quarter, and Mexico only had 1. So they did a nice job of taking care of the ball.
As we roll the highlights, let's look at the individual tallies in this one so far. For Mexico, Avalos 4 points. Dawood has 4. Jorge Gutierrez 12 points, 3 rebounds. Francisco Cruz 4 points. Gabriel Giron 2 points and 4 assists. Álex Pérez just 2 points. Hector Hernandez 3 points, 4 rebounds. Lorenzo Mata 8 points and 2 boards. Israel Gutierrez 2 points, 2 boards. For Brazil, Caboclo had the 1 3-pointer, and that was it. Lucas Diaz, 2 points. Mariano Lucas did not score, but had 3 rebounds. Zucchia, 1 point. Lenz had 3 points, 3 boards. Fulvio, just 2 points and 3 assists. Mineiro, 6 points. Batista, just 4, but he did have 6 rebounds. Meindl had 7. And Jorginho de Paula had 5. Mark, for as well as Brazil is moving the ball, it's just not translating into points. And we talked about this during one of the games in Buenos Aires. They just got to hit more shots.
They just got to hit more shots. I mean, they're getting the looks. They have a total of, what do we have here, 29 total shots. So that's in Mexico. Mexico's at 35, so they're getting a lot of shots too. You know, they're putting theirs in. But again, I'm going to go back to the free throw percentage. That's go right now. If you look at, let's say they cut half of what they missed. All right, so 5. Add 5 more points on it. Now it's 41-38. So now you're right into the ball game. So again, free throws are going to be the thing that we're going to see in this game all the way to the end. You got to knock them down.
41-33 in favor of Mexico at halftime. Second day of play at the 2017 FIBA AmeriCup Championship Tournament. This Group A. Last night it was Mexico over Puerto Rico 69-66, and Brazil tipped Colombia 76-74. Colombia and Puerto Rico play tonight at 8. And then we have 2 more games tomorrow, starting with Brazil and Puerto Rico at 3:30. And then Mexico and Colombia at 6. Second half action from Medellin when we come back. Welcome back to Medellin. And 2017 FIBA AmeriCup Championship Tournament. Alongside Mark Anderson, I'm Craig Feda. 1 half in the books tonight, 1 half to go, and then 1 more game to follow. Right now, it is Mexico on top with an 8-point lead at 41-33.
Mexico last night got up 77 shots in their game. They have 35 right now, so they're on pace pretty close to what they had last night, as is Brazil. They had 29 so far in the first half. They had 55 last night, but their shooting percentage is going to have to come up. They're at 50%. Both teams are well below at 57% for Mexico free throw, 50% for Brazil. But I did notice that both coaches didn't play their benches as much as they did last night. Now Brazil went a stretch in the second quarter there where they played, as did Mexico, exclusively their second unit, and pretty much was even in that sense with bench scoring, with Mexico with 10 and Brazil with 11.
Mexico will open the second half with possession, and now the clock is ready to go, and all of a sudden the clock went all zeros. Now they've got 10 back on there.
There we go. That's a good shot clock.
That's a hold up. Yep. Shot clocks. There we go. Now reset to 24. They had been at 0.
Big game that Pérez had last night with 24. He had something like 18 at the half. He only has 2 right now in just under 8 minutes of play.
Same 5 starters on the floor for Mexico. Brazil making a little bit of a change as Caboclo is out and Jorginho de Paula is in. Lucas Diaz starting the second half as well, as Fulvio is on the bench. Nice ball movement there by Brazil, and the pretty finish with the left hand by Mineiro.
Time the ball only touched the court once it got in the front court. That's efficient.
On the handoff to Gutiérrez. Back to the far side. Cruz looking for a seam. Loses it. And here comes de Paula. Meindl couldn't finish in traffic. Back the other way is Mexico. Skip step there by Cruz, misses, and then Mata can't follow. It is on for both teams so far. There's de Paula getting a left-hand lay-in. And Brazil back to within 4, starting off this second half on a 4-0 run. Pablos spinning from the baseline, hanging. Pretty shot, but it would not go. Mata's there for the cleanup, though.
There just enough that Mata could time it as the Brazilian team mistimed it.
Now a steal. Gutierrez as de Paula was left on the floor.
couple plays like that last night where we had anticipated a whistle and it didn't happen.
Now Meindl loses his footing. Brazil keeps possession. Batista, the pretty move in the lane.
Slipped right where DePaula had fallen.
Yeah. Gutierrez, his pass gets deflected. Avalos gets it. Soaring in from the right side and banking it in off the square is Avalos.
Like Gutierrez had a layup that he passed on. The initial dribble drive.
Meindl, on Cruz, now back out to DePaula. And Mineiro gets bumped. That's going to be on Cruz, and that is going to be foul number 3. DePaula to the deck. By Cruz, and just like that, it's Mexico by 12 after Brazil had cut it to 4, and Cesar Guidetti takes timeout. 7:03 to play, third quarter at Coliseo Iván de Bedú in Medellín.
Ah, o que vai dizer isso aí? Quando os 5 jogadores dele estiverem implantados, já voltaram, nós vamos vir pelo meio e vamos fazer apoio 2. Tá? Se chegar em transição, com os caras ainda voltando, bloqueia a bola direto. Então são 2 momentos que a gente não está separando. E aí tudo que a gente está lutando, eles estão recuperando bola e fazendo bandeja. Então nós temos que ter essa calma no 5 contra 5. Tá? Então lembra de fazer apoio 2, apoio 2.
Atacamos nosotros. Defendemos, venga, una buena defensa. Hacemos una defensa de cambio. Hacemos una defensa. Salto también, ¿vale? Salto.
In just under 3 minutes, Mexico already has 8 shots up to Brazil's 4. And that's where they've been able to extend the lead. Again, we talked about coming out of the break there, the high volume of shots that Mexico gets during the game. They're getting them right now.
Brazil opened the third quarter on a 4-0 run. Mexico is answering with an 8-0. Another excellent crowd here tonight.
Started coming in half, right before the half.
And now Avalos commits his 4th foul. Immediate seat on the bench. The ball movement inside by Brazil, and then Mata comes down on top of Mineiro.
Good touch pass by Batista.
So he gets Mata in the air, and then
it looked worse than what it was because he was just trying to hold on.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to hurt him or tackle him. He was just trying to save himself from a hard fall. But Mata issued the unsportsmanlike as a result. And he's pleading his case to the official, and the official says, I know, son. No harm, but we still got to call it. You can equate that to a face mask in American football. You might not have tried to grab the cage, but you twist the guy's head around even if you didn't mean to. Wow! Behind the back pass by Fulvio into Mineiro. There's some of that Fulvio magic we're accustomed to seeing.
It's kind of interesting that he did not start the second half.
Cesar Guidetti maybe making a little bit of a statement in his second game as coach. Fulvio in that first half only had 2 points. He did have 4 assists, so he was distributing the ball.
Yeah, over 10 minutes.
And Hernandez loses control. It goes off the foot of a Brazilian player, and Mexico will have possession. Finally, Mexico gets it in, catch and shoot. 3 from the corner. My goodness. Gabriel Giron with the shot clock winding down. And it's back to a 9-point lead for Mexico. Missing from the elbow is Batista. Perez. Lob to Mata. Back inside to Cruz. Now Giron for 3 again. Splash that one!
That looked good when it left his hand.
Yes, it did.
We were right in front of us there.
Now Fulvio inside to Batista. 5.5 minutes to play, third quarter. Mexico by 8. Cruz around Mata. Into the corner now for Giron. Thought about the 3. His floater up over Batista is good. Giron with an 8-point run of his own.
He's doing what Perez did last night. Off the bench, getting the high volume shots, and he's knocking them down.
Meindl with the right hand. No good. Rebound Mata.
This is it. Mexico with their high volume shots. They pushed that lead out to 14 already. Oh, I thought that went through his legs.
Boy, and he splashed that one, didn't he?
He sure did. So Mexico's doing an excellent job of spreading the floor.
So Mariano Lucas comes on for Brazil. As does Jimmy Oliveira. Perez sees a seam and accelerates. What a pretty finish by Álex Pérez. And the great run out there by Oliveira.
Yeah, Brazil's got a run left in here.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Now Cruz banks that one in.
That bench scoring is starting to take its toll here.
16-point lead now for Mexico. What a steal by Perez. He picks Fulvio's pocket, and Perez goes up and dunks it with 2 hands, slaps the backboard for good measure, and draws. No, it's a timeout Brazil. I thought slapping the backboard was an automatic T in FIBA play.
And when he did that little chin lift, chin up. See, a little hesitation there. Could have been a carrying the ball because he stopped the flow of his dribble.
What a pretty finish there by Perez. So it's been Giron and Perez. Look at him just pick the pocket of Fulvio. Does the chin up and smacks the board for good measure. You're going to get a look at it here. Hello.
Defesa 2, tá? Nós vamos dobrar.
So Mexico has all of a sudden blown this one open. Brazil, remember, started off the third quarter on a 4-0 run. Mexico then went on an 8-0 run, and Brazil has already used 2 of its timeouts in this third quarter.
Well, here's the other thing. Mexico is 8 of 11 from the floor.
Aqui no ataque, tem que ser bola rápida.
Right, 2 for 2 from behind the arc, and everything else is in the restricted area.
Faz a chifre.
Vamos embora, vamos aí!
There's another look at the dunk by Perez.
I really am surprised they didn't tee him up for that.
Yeah, I am too. So now Brazil finding themselves down 18. Whereas Cesar Guidetti, what do you draw up here?
You just got to keep going at it. I mean, you can't play passive. Right there, goaltend. But you got to string together some stops. That's what they haven't done tonight.
Yeah, they've got to cool off Mexico in this third quarter.
And Mexico is blistering 72% this quarter.
And that was just the first 2 points for Mariano Lucas. And now a steal by Meindl. There's your stop, and there's your score.
Now they got to put together 2 or 3 more in a row here without Mexico scoring, and then you're right back in it.
Meindl tries to get the steal, and does. Active hands by Meindl, and one!
That's what you needed. Turn up the pressure here in the forecourt with the double team in there. The jump and run action.
And now Sergio Valdeomios wants timeout. Mexico's lead has been cut to 14 at 63-49.
All of a sudden, Brazil is 8 for 11 this quarter. So both teams are on fire.
Salida de presión ahora, no nos pongamos nerviosos, ¿de acuerdo? Hay que jugar algo, correcto, y que suban los bases el balón. Saca tú de fondo, ¿correcto?
Ellos van a presionar mucho las líneas de pasadores.
Ahora van a apretar y ahora van a pegar chingazos a cobrarlos. Entonces ahora es cuando tenemos que estar, buenos bloqueos, que no nos saquen, ¿vale? Correcto. Vamos a hacer o 0-4 o 1. O 0-4 o 1.
Você vai trazer a bola aqui, primeiro pivô cai. Se já der para dar essa bola pro Lucão aqui, você dá. Tá? Senão a bola vai no Mineiro, corta, Jimmy, Léo, vira e vamos jogar de dupla. Tá? Vamos fazer a punho virando a bola agora.
Only
Tá?
attempted
Punho
2
normal.
this half.
Ok? Beleza? Vamos!
Mexico is still stuck at 7. Defense will create your offense, and that's what you want. Get some easy baskets, get you right back in it.
So the last couple of minutes have been the Leonardo Meindl show. 2 steals, 2 layups, and now a chance to complete a 3-point play. And he does. 63-52, and the lead has been cut to 11. It was 18 just a moment ago. Pérez. Out to Giron. 10 to shoot. Giron into the paint. Boy, how he didn't travel, I don't know. But he throws up a prayer off the glass, and it finds its way home. Inside 3 minutes to play, third quarter. Possession will stay with Brazil as you get a look at Cesar Guidetti. Once again, this is his first tournament as the head coach of the senior men's national team. Gorgeous pass from Mariano Lucas to a streaking Leo Meindl. Meindl draws the foul. Is that going to be on Giron?
I don't think it's out of bounds. Or did they call the foul?
There they called a foul. That's his second.
Now, Brazil's got to keep knocking these free throws down. They didn't have a very good first half with it. So far this half, they've knocked them down.
Yeah, they've got a chance to make some hay. Mexico in the penalty already with 2:43 to play in the quarter. And as soon as we say that, swishes the second. Pérez. Hernandez. Hands it off to Gutiérrez. Around the screen by Israel Gutiérrez. And a block. It's going to be on Mariano Lucas. 2.5 minutes to play now, third quarter. Gutierrez. Now Giron, his drive won't go. And Davi Rosetto into the game for the first time for Brazil. Rosetto between the rings, guarded by Pérez. Comes the screen by Mineiro. Rosetto gets it back. Two-man game between those two, and now the pass from Rosetto off the leg of Gutierrez, and it'll be 14 more on the shot clock for Brazil.
Brazil's got to find a way to get some easy baskets here in the last 2 minutes, get that lead down to 10.
We saw that inbound play, the ball hit the backboard, but Giron committed a foul, and now a steal by Gutierrez. Got it into commits the foul. The flow of this game since the first quarter has really been kind of disjointed. It's been stop and go.
That's a good way of putting it. That's what it's been. And, you know, the clock issues didn't help. That sometimes can take teams out of a rhythm.
Gutierrez just got a scratch on his hand.
Must be bleeding.
Signaling that they've got to bring in a sub.
When his hand hit the billboard over there.
Yeah. It's digital headboards. They are padded on top, but pretty hard. Gutierrez. Perez. On the drive left side, has it swatted out of there by Lenz. Meindl. Lenz high off the glass and in. Pretty shot by Renan Lenz.
There you go. You got it down to 10 with 1:20. Now can you get it down to 8 or 6? Get a couple stops here, a couple baskets. You're right there going into the fourth quarter.
Off the glass with the left hand and in. Tough shot by Benitez over the outstretched arms of Leo Meindl. And Meindl draws the foul.
We saw this last night in the Mexico-Puerto Rican game, is that every time that Puerto Rico would answer, Mexico would come down and answer with their own, and they're doing it again here tonight.
Strong move by Benitez to put that up over Meindl, who got pretty good contact on the arm.
Showing again tonight that they don't panic when they're out there.
Something to keep an eye on. That's the third foul on Meindl, so he sits down now in minute 4 to play in the third quarter. Don't want to get him picking up the unintentional fourth foul here.
Exactly.
That's something silly. Rosetto behind the back. Stepping out of bounds is Oliveira.
When you're struggling like that, that's not the kind of pass you want to see as a coach.
That's the kind of pass that you pull out of the game.
That's right. Bob Huggins has a term for that, but I can't use it.
And a foul on Lenz. Get him on the carry. Avalos gets the first free throw to go and lead back to 14. Avalos can't make it 15. And fouling rebound attempt. That's going to be on Israel Gutierrez. That's his second. 33.6 to play in this third quarter. We've got one more coming up here tonight. Colombia and Puerto Rico. Tipping off at 8 o'clock local time. That's 9 o'clock Eastern time in the U.S. and Canada. Second free throw, no good. Israel Gutierrez the rebound. Pérez. Boy, he showed some explosiveness there in traffic.
Did.
And then it looked like a couple of instances of goaltending, defensive and then offensive.
Right. It was kind of blocked. I couldn't see where the official was standing.
5 left on the clock. Three-pointer from Rosetto misses way left. And it'll be Mexico ball with 2.5 to play in the quarter. Back up to 15. Now from three-quarters court. Wide right by Pérez. Again, UC Richards. He's a ball magnet. Ended up right in his lap again.
Good hands.
71-56 Mexico leading Brazil as we head to the fourth quarter. This is the 2017 FIBA AmeriCup Championship Tournament, live from Coliseo Iván de Bedú in Medellín. .56 Mexico leading Brazil. Brazil made a pretty nice run there in the middle part of the quarter, but then Mexico answered.
When you look at it, Brazil had a great shooting quarter. They were 9 of 14. However, Mexico was 12 of 17. But now, two stats that are starting to lean in Mexico's favor that we talked about at the beginning of the game. Points from turnovers, they have 14 to Brazil's 6. And the bench scoring now is starting to take its toll, 29 to 19 in favor of Mexico.
Pushed out of bounds by Fulvio. It'll be Mexico ball. Both teams had their largest scoring quarter of the game by far. Mexico put up 30 points in that quarter. They put up 22 in the first, 19 in the second. Brazil, meanwhile, put up 23, eclipsing their 19 and 14 in the first two quarters.
That'll be it for Avalos. On the screen outside, he wasn't set. So his night's done.
Surprised he was still out there, but
yeah, 4 fouls. The quarter just started. You could put him in maybe around the 7-minute mark.
But you're not losing a lot with Álex Pérez out there either. positions, but still. Long pass. Paolo was able to save it with the touch pass, and then it was knocked out of bounds by Mexico. It'll be Brazil ball with 7 to shoot.
Throw those types of passes over the defense, and you got to go up and get it. That throws you out of your shooting position, and it throws the offense out of rhythm because you got to go up and get it and re-catch.
Lenz hits it at the shot clock.
Put together some stops now.
Nice little jumper there by Álex Pérez, and this young man is making a name for himself in this tournament. He's got 10 tonight after his big night last night. Fulvio, little underhand bounce pass into the post. Now Pérez for 3, got it!
He had that little Steph Curry follow through at the end there, how he bent his knees. He's now 6 for 10 from the floor.
Just like that, he's got 13. We talked in the first half about how he was quiet. Did the bulk of his damage last night in the first half. Maybe he'll do the bulk of his damage in the second half tonight.
Nice right hand.
Tremendous defense by Israel Gutiérrez, but there wasn't much more he could have done there besides maybe tackle De Paula. Here's Cruz up on the left side. And now foul away from the ball. As Sequeira gets caught fighting through the screen.
Did not see what happened to Gutiérrez. The 3 by Pérez.
He came off hobble. I think he maybe took a knee to the thigh. Looks like he's just getting it rubbed out.
The old Charlie horse.
Yeah. Cramp. Now Cruz from 16. He's got that one.
Screen by Benitez.
Lead back up to 18. Yeah, he's got to be cramping up because now they're working on the other thigh. Lucas for 3. That's good.
Showed that capability last night that he can knock down those threes.
Cruz around the screen by Gutiérrez. And an offensive foul. Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to do that. He's led with that arm a couple times.
That's right. Finally caught up with him.
That and the hook with the off arm. You can get away with that once in a while, but if you do it more than a couple times,
All right,
it will get wise to you. Fulvio, with a pretty jumper from the free throw line. I bet he's practiced that shot a couple million times.
Did you just see that screen?
By Benitez, yeah. Cesar Guidetti wanted a foul, but Benitez
It was
didn't do anything
legal.
wrong.
He gave him more than a step. Nobody talked to him out there.
I saw a screen like that a couple years ago in the Caribbean Basketball Confederation tournament. Some giant 7-footer, just absolute mammoth of a man, was standing at half court, and he was braced for the collision, and some little guard ran full headlong lotus scheme. Didn't see him, ran right into him. The big guy didn't move. The little guy bounced off him like a butterfly off a tank, and the big guy got called for the foul for some reason.
And he probably stood there in disbelief.
Yeah, everybody did. Cruz from the right elbow. Good. Benitez the rebound and the putback.
Good you, those little things for you.
And now Brazil takes its final timeout. Down with 6:34 to play by 15 points. I saw Brazil call for a timeout. Okay, they waved it off. Officials clearly made a timeout signal and pointed at the Brazil bench. Apparently Cesar Guidetti said, I don't want to quite burn my last one just yet.
All right.
Now Meindl into the paint on the kick out, tried to get it through to Paula, but a little too wide.
Brazil's a little out of sync right now. Just can't get a rhythm going offensively or defensively.
They're out of sync and getting sunk. Shooting of Mexico. Now Mexico clearly demonstrating some patience. And what a one-hand pass by Pérez to Cruz.
Cruz set up that curl screen. Excellent.
Passion see out of Fulvio. Watch this. Just real nonchalant. Whistled it right past his ear. Nice. So fast that Mariano Lucas couldn't even get his hand up.
No. And that's what you want. You want guys to be able to make those passes out there one-handed without right in the dribble of it.
And that foul is going to be on Giron, and that'll be his fourth.
Now what would be really impressive is he comes back and does that left-handed. Those are the things that you practice as a professional, being able to make those passes one-handed like that, either right or left-handed.
Nice move by Lucas, and then the tip in. That was Meindl. Made a nice pass to you at breakfast this morning. Into the tray of bread. Didn't get credit with the assist, though.
No, you did
Brazil
not.
behind the back from Fulvio, and an offensive foul. That's going to be on De Paula as Fulvio protests. See if we can see it here. Pérez reestablished himself outside. Good call.
Very good call.
Yep, excellent defense by Pérez. They got that one 100% right. Came back out of the restricted area, reset himself.
He sure did. Nice job.
Yep. Here you can see Fulvio saying, come on, man. Can you wipe out a play like that? Well, it was illegal. That three is up and good by Cruz, and Mexico is running away with this one, and now Brazil takes its final timeout. Trailing 85-67 with 5:05 to play, and Mexico well on its way to perhaps securing a berth in the semifinals of the FIBA AmeriCup Championship Tournament. The semifinals will be held in Cordoba, Argentina, September 2nd and 3rd.
Pode ser com o Jorge.
Group
a dois
champion
lados. Jorge traz a bola. Aí
Groups
você
A, B,
ataca
and
o
C
pick and roll, você bloqueia a bola.
will be in the finals, along with Argentina as host nation.
Aqui. Isso em jogada armada.
If Argentina
Na
wins
transição,
its
nós vamos de punho.
resume,
Vira a bola, bloqueia e rola. E joga
they
a
will take the
Hace de
second
vuelta y
place
ya la
team
subes tú.
from that
Y
group.
ahora Fernando pone el pick y ya no hay problema. ¿De acuerdo? Quiero orden, Álex. No tenemos prisa.
It'll be
Quiero
interesting to
orden.
see how
¿De acuerdo? Y
who
a
comes
partir de
out
ahí
of those
jugamos.
other two
Y si
groups,
no
because it's
hay
going to
nada,
be a
situaciones
dogfight.
finales,
Yeah, that Group B, they always talk about it in the World Cup. In soccer, there's always a group of death. If there were a group of death in this tournament, it's Group B. Argentina, Venezuela, Canada, 3 of the 4 semifinalists from 2 years ago, along with Mexico, and then a very strong Virgin Islands team.
Francisco Cruz is having a nice night. He's 7 of 13 overall for 15 points. And Mexico has 5 players in double figures.
Virgin Islands, of course, led by Sam Mitchell, Raptors coach. Had some fun talking with him in Panama last year. Puerto Rico 2 years ago was led by Rick Pitino. As Mata gets it to go.
Just thinking we hadn't seen him in a while, and he comes back in and chips in with a basket here and gets a free throw.
And it was another great pass from Álex Pérez. He's starting to pile up the assists.
6.
Mata completes the 3-point play, and the lead is 21 with 4.5 minutes to play. Finish there by Meindl. He's got 17. Leads all scorers. Soaring floater by Pérez, no good.
Gotta take care of the basketball.
Smart move by Dawood.
Yep, they don't have to kill clock yet, but they still got to keep attacking.
Dribbling there by Cruz. Now the 3 from Dawood, short. Saved by Mata. Oh, I thought he threw that off of Dawood.
Well, he almost ran over Jose Jimenez, who is laughing down there.
He would not have been laughing had Mata run him over, that's for sure.
No. I don't know if somebody in the crowd yelled at him.
Saw us chuckling at him and snapped a picture. But I thought when Mata saved that ball, I thought that ended up going off of Dawood, but evidently it went off a Brazilian player.
You have a better seat than I do tonight because the official is standing right in my viewpoint several times tonight.
I get blocked by him on occasion as well. 3:35 to play. Cruz to the free throw line. After the foul by Mineiro.
Well, I really like the way Mexico spreads the floor. And they have more than 1 or 2 weapons. You know, as we noted before, just a second ago, they had 5 guys in double figures. But it helps when Cruz is having a good night.
Yeah.
You know, you bring Pérez in off the bench, who's going to be averaging high teens now after tonight. Or if he gets, you know, a few more baskets here, maybe around 20 coming off the bench.
Now 21. Mexico's scoring tonight very balanced. Francisco Cruz 17 points. Álex Pérez up to 13 now and 6 assists. Mata has 13. Jorge Gutiérrez has 14. Gabriel Giron has 12. So 4 players, 5 in double figures for Mexico. For Brazil, Meindl has 17. Mineiro has 13, and that's it. No one else in doubles.
No, they've just been struggling to get other guys to score. Nice pass.
Wow. Got some oohs and ahs out of the crowd. Nita's now with 7 as Pérez picks up another assist.
7th one of the night.
Mineiro to the hook.
You know, the other thing I know this about Pérez. Even though he wasn't scoring in the first half, he wasn't trying to score. You know what I mean by that is that he wasn't trying to force the issue. Right. The game was coming to him, and he took what they were given. Second half now, he's recognizing his opportunities. He's taking well advantage of it, and it's paying off.
We've got another clock issue.
A great player to have come off the bench.
Yes.
Oh, my.
They're going to start play, even though the clock's over the scoreboard, rather than the backboards are not running. Neither shot clock is running. They're going to keep the time on the scoreboard. Well, no, they're not. We've had all sorts of bugs with the clocks above the backboards tonight.
I remember having a minor league game in the States where the same thing happened, and then they had the scores table start counting it down. When it got to 15.
Yep.
I don't think we're going to see that here.
No. Official time is 2:24. They have that up on the big scoreboards at either end. One clock above a backboard reads 2:64. The other one reads 2:58. One shot clock says 24. The other says 13. So they will continue to work on that. No doubt they will continue to work on that between games as well, to try to make sure that they are synchronized.
Here again, that will pull on Mexico. Go over to the coach, talk, until the official says, no, you can't do that.
More game coming up tonight at 8 o'clock between Colombia and Puerto Rico. My country initials are mixed up again. Pretty good crowd already on hand. And now an official's timeout. As they continue to work on the clock situation. Second chance points in favor of Mexico, 10-2.
Yeah, they've been hustling. That'll create those second chance points off of rebounding. Nice pass by Pérez.
Yeah, there's that behind the head pass to Benitez, giving Benitez 7 points.
Surprisingly, fast break points are only favoring Mexico, 13-12.
Haciendo
It's been more of the
flares
half-court
laterales
game.
y a partir de ahí acompañando
Knocking
tú por
down the
línea de
shots.
fondo. Correcto, y todos preparados. Atentos porque ya están muy estáticos. Están muy estáticos y podemos buscarle la espalda para jugar canastas fáciles en juegos sin balón. ¿De acuerdo? Así que vamos a leer la espalda y acompañando esa situación. En defensa seguimos trabajando. Si tenemos, vamos a hacer ahora una cosa. Si hay pick, no, porque es el 7, no va a haber pick. Va a haber pick solo con el 5. Entonces trabajamos
we
en
walked
línea
over here
o
tonight,
flash
we saw that
más
they were
conservador
shutting
ahí.
down the
Siempre
streets.
pasando por arriba y niégale la línea de pase de recibo. Pero tenemos que estar duros. Nos quedan 2 minutos de fuerte.
Did I ask you what arena we're
Duros
in?
fuertes ahí porque
You did,
todo lo
and
que
it
podamos
is
ganar de más puntos es bueno para mañana. Vale, pues a lo mejor
Kinda
ya
do,
después del
yeah.
partido estamos metidos.
If you have trouble sleeping tonight, just call me up and I'll
Venga, chicos, vamos.
repeating it on the video over and over until you drift off.
I'm good on that one.
Now they got the clocks right. 2:24 is showing on all of them. And the shot clock is at 18. As we look again at the gorgeous pass by Pérez. Pérez is sneaky for Mexico. He doesn't look like he's not that huge. He's not that muscular. Cruz with the floater, no good. Mata off the rebound, gets it to go on the second effort. Inside 2 minutes to play, the lead is 23. Three-pointer missed. Lucas Diaz, and now Mexico is definitely in run-the-clock mode.
Now, with a lead like this, you want to get out here with nobody getting hurt.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You got Gutiérrez sitting over there. He's probably just cramped up. Hopefully that's all it is.
And positive that's what it was. They were massaging both thighs.
Well, the next game coming up, I'm anxious to see Ortiz and Troca to see how they are for Colombia. Because those were two integral parts that they had last night when they made that run in the second half against Brazil.
And Ortiz went down with the knee, and then Troca with the ankle. Troca ended up coming back in.
But he was clearly hobbled.
Yeah. Especially later in the game. Nice lob to Mata from Benitez. Back out, and Mexico will burn off a few more seconds. Shot clock at 5. And Benitez going to call it for the offensive foul.
A little hip action there.
He's so big, he doesn't need to throw that hip out.
No, he does not. Because whoever's guarding the ball handler has to go so far around him anyways.
Yeah. It's like having the Empire State Building and then you open a door.
Right.
You really need to do that.
And he knows his role, and he plays to it perfect.
3 from Mariano Lucas, no good. To Pérez. Pérez trying to feed Dawood. Rack up a couple more points. Lucas for 3 again. That one straight through. Big man's got range.
He does. He can extend the floor.
Just 23 years old, Mariano Lucas. Now Cruz launching the 3. Good. Mata! The putback dunk!
Wow, did he time that perfect.
Watch this one. Mata swooping in. Wow! And roars with emphasis, coming right into your living room. Wow.
I'm really impressed with Mexico, the way they play. Nice job.
Now that foul's going to be on Giron, and that'll end his night. 21.5 seconds to play. Giron had 12 points tonight, and Benitez comes back out.
He wants to set at least one more big screen.
Yeah. Fans warming up their vuvuzelas for the game between Colombia and Puerto Rico. It's going to get started at 8 o'clock local time. 9 o'clock on the East Coast. Perez. Just looking to dribble it out. So it's still defending. Now Dawood for 3. And Dawood at the buzzer puts an exclamation point on this game for Mexico. 99-76 the final. And Mexico moves to 2-0 in Group A. Brazil falls to 1-1. Mexico plays Colombia tomorrow night for the right to go to Cordoba. Mark, this effort that we saw tonight out of Mexico was a lot more like we saw 2 years ago in Mexico City.
Yeah, they really split. You know, I like their offensive philosophy of spreading the floor attack. If you don't have the layup, you're kicking it out. The shooters get to their prime spots where they can knock it down. And you know what I really like about Mexico is their inside play. They can, with Mata Benitez, Gutierrez, they can rotate those guys. You know, Mata sat for a long period of time there in the second half, came in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game and still put up 6-7 points and was a factor. And I like how hard he goes at it. And Benitez does all the little things, as does Gutierrez. They know their role, and that's important when you come into tournaments like this. You know your role and you play to it. Same with Pérez. He comes in off the bench, had another terrific night, slow start, but never panicked. So they're impressive right now.
Brazil spending a few extra moments on the floor talking, and then they salute their fans. Mexico, a ridiculous 57% from the floor overall, 60%, 33 of 55 from two-point range, and 47%, 8 of 17 from three. Brazil, on the other hand, 47% overall, not bad, 53.8% from two-point range, 6 of 18 from three. As we run down the individual numbers on this one for Mexico, we will watch the highlights. Pretty finish there by Álex Pérez. Avalos had 7 points before fouling out. Dawood had 7. Jorge Gutiérrez, 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 steals. Francisco Cruz, 17 points rather. 3 steals and 3 assists. Gabriel Giron, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Álex Pérez, 13 points, 7 assists. Hector Hernandez, 3 points, 5 rebounds. Benitez had 7 points, 2 boards. Mata had 17 points, 7 rebounds. And Israel Gutierrez, 2 points and 3 rebounds. For Brazil, Davi Rossetto, 2 points. Caboclo had just 3 in only 9 minutes and 21 seconds of action. Lucas Diaz, 2 points. Mariano Lucas had 8 and 3 rebounds. Siqueira had 1. Lenz had 7. Fulvio just 4 and 7 assists. Mineiro had 13 points and 4 assists. Batista had 6.6 rebounds. Meindl, 19 points. Jimmy Oliveira, 2 points, 3 rebounds, and Jorginho de Paula, 9 points. And if you're Brazil, they kind of retooled their team here a little bit coming into this tournament. New coach went with players playing almost exclusively in the Brazilian league. And they got knocked out by Mexico tonight. Where do they go from here? As far as tomorrow night
Luis Scola and get him back on there. Well, let me give you 2 stats here. Mexico, 58 points in the paint. That can't be. If you're Brazil, you've got to shore up your defense. And again, Mexico right on line, 41 points from the bench. But what I see from Brazil is that outside of Meindl, they really don't have another go-to guy like Mexico can spread it out, and you got 4 players that can score in double figures, and they really don't have a go-to guy to come off the bench like Mexico does with Pérez. So those are some things they're going to have to look at when they come back and get ready for tomorrow's game.
Once again, the final, Mexico beating Brazil 99-76. We've got one more game coming up at 8 o'clock local time between Colombia and Puerto Rico. We will be back on the air at 7:50 for the pregame on that one. Brazil tomorrow takes on Puerto Rico at 3:30, and Mexico will host Colombia. Actually, Colombia will be hosting Mexico.